Hi all. Today, this is the second session that we have. In this week, we are mainly discussing about the IAC part, the infrastructure as code part, and we are mainly in the previous session we discussed and we have showed how IAC is helpful us to manage resources in cloud. As we know, we can create resources in cloud as well as in on-premises with the help of different IAC tools. But we are mainly we are mainly exploring on Terraform. So we had an overview of Terraform in the last session. So today our main agenda will be the introduction to the Terraform, so that we will explore what is Terraform and what's its specific, what are its specialities and how we can use that. That kind of things can be taken during this session. So as we know, Terraform is a IAC tool, infrastructure as code. So it can be mainly used to create resources, or we can call it as workloads. Okay. So mainly we will be using this to create resources in the cloud or in on-premises. Okay. So let's dig into Terraform and what is Terraform, what all things that we will be seeing in Terraform and all. So first of all, we can see that it's a tool. Okay, Terraform is a tool. It is developed by HashiCorp. So it's basically a tool that is used as part of IAC, and it is developed by HashiCorp. Second thing is, when it comes to its language, okay, we are using HCL language, which means it's a declarative one. That means it is easy to read. It's a human readable kind of format that we can see in as language, HCL language, which is that we mostly use in Terraform. Okay. And when we see it as part of an infrastructure, okay, what we are using, actually it will help us. It will help us to automate the deployments, or we can say deployments, or we can manage. So in terms of infrastructure, it will automate the task. We can deploy or manage the resources that we have in cloud or in on-premises. Okay. So these are the main things that we need to understand about Terraform. Okay. So when we say that Terraform, we can like say in different time as well, like for provisioning and managing any infrastructure. Okay. Anywhere in the sense whether it is in cloud or on premises, we can use this declarative language, okay, which is defined in .tf format, okay, .tf format. So the files that we will create in Terraform will be saved in .tf format. For example, if we are saying main file, okay, then the file will be main.tf. Okay. So you will see different kind of files that have extensions .tf, which means that's a Terraform file. Okay. And yeah, definitely it has different versions. Different versions in the sense it has a free version. Okay. As I said, it is an open source. Also, there is a paid version, which is an enterprise one. Okay. So there are two kind of subscriptions or two kind of licenses it's have. One is free and another is paid. Okay, so this is the basic overview of Terraform. Okay. Do you have any questions on this?
No, sir, no.
Okay. Okay. And next, I'm jumping into the Terraform terms because we mostly discuss about the terms in Terraform. So the basic idea is we need some kind of main.tf files which will describe, okay, we need these resources to be deployed. That will be in .tf format, and it will be used to automate the deployment or management of the resources in cloud or on-premises. I hope it's good to go, right?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay, okay, great. So let me explain few things. Let's say okay, I have some files. Okay, this is a document that I have. I'll mention main.tf, or there are different files, okay, like that we can name it, or provider .tf, or there is a lot of tf files, let's say like that. Okay, so we have this file available in our system, or we can say that in whether it in our local system or in any cloud resource or anywhere. Okay, so it will be in a directory, right, in a folder or something. So when it comes to Terraform, the workflow starts from a command Terraform init. Okay, this is the first command that we need to run, Terraform init. In this Terraform init, what happens is it will fetch the provider, okay, from which provider they are going to work. So maybe in the provider TF, or there may be only main.tf. Okay, there is like, there may be like, there is no predefined setup, or there are no recommendations like you need to have multiple files. You may have only one file also, that's also fine. Okay, you can mention whatever the code that you can, that inside one file, that's also fine. Okay, so inside that, you may mention which provider you are leveraging into. So whether it's an Azure or AWS or GCP or whatever it may be. So according to that provider that you have mentioned in that Terraform file, that provider will be downloaded. Okay. So the Terraform will be fetching the details in contact with that provider, and that kind of predefined, required details will be fetched from that provider. Okay, so are you getting what Terraform Init is doing?
So it is just fetching from different provider, you mean?
Yeah, like see, for example, yeah, in this file we mentioned Azure. Okay, then this Terraform init will command will do, like, it will get initialized with the Terraform and it will check what provider it is having. It says, okay, Azure it is having. So it will fetch that provider details and it will be available in that directory.
Okay.
Okay, which means we are running this command inside these directories, wherever that our files are residing. Okay.
Okay.
So, and we will call the files as configuration files. Okay. We will call the files as configuration files. Like we have different files for Terraform, right? So collectively, we will call that files as configuration files. So when we say Terraform configuration files, that means the file that the TF files that we have written in our repository or in our local directory. Okay, got it?
Okay.
Okay, so this is the first command, okay, Terraform init. So it will initialize the Terraform and it will check which provider we are looking into. If it is Azure, then it will like bring those details that it is required for Azure. Otherwise, like if it is AWS, it will fetch the details which is required for AWS. Completely a cloud, like the provider specific. Okay.
Okay.
And once Terraform init is done, okay, let's say this is in a folder, my home, then it is in my home directory. We are performing these commands in my home directory itself. Okay. Now I have another command that is Terraform plan. Okay. So here what happens is I have one other file. Okay. This is a plan. Okay. So we can call it as TF plan, Terraform plan. Okay. So once the init is done, Terraform, the next thing is we will be running another command called Terraform plan. While we run Terraform plan, what happens is it will check what the configuration files and it will understand what all resources has to be deployed. For example, if they have one VM or one storage account, or let's say one database, something like that, okay? Then it will create a TF plan file, which is mentioning, okay, these things has we need to be created. And it will show us what all things will be created once we are applying that details. Okay, which means considering the configurations files and all and the provider and all, TF plan will have the details like what all resources to be deployed. Okay. Did you get that?
Okay.
Okay. And this tfplan file, so the definitely the extension of this file will be tfplan. Okay. And this tfplan file is managed by the Terraform. It is in the backend. We can't see this file actually. Okay. Whenever we are running the plan, it will give a window. It will give that. It will display the details. Okay, this kind of data, like resources will be created and all that kind of details will be created, and we can for example, we can name this file. For example, out.tfplan, which means this is a Terraform plan. We have named it as out. Okay. So this file will be available in the backend. So the Terraform plan will create a tfplan file which will show what all resources will be created or deleted, whatever the changes, whatever is happening there. So it will be described in this tfplan. I got it.
Okay. So, sir, do we have to set the names of the files, or I mean, as we have set the file name like main.tf,
Yeah. If we
but in
mention
the
if we mention Terraform plan, then test.tfplan, then it will create a file called test.tfplan.
okay.
Okay, we can name it along with the command Terraform plan space. We can mention that name of that this thing plan file so that it can create. So there is one flag out or something that we will check. So it will create a plan like that. Okay.
Okay.
We can name it according to our requirement, no issues.
Okay.
Got it. And so
Yes,
this
sir.
is this is in the backend. This is happening in the backend. Okay, mainly it will not give us this file. It will show in the command prompt, okay, what all things we are going to create, what all things are deleting, or like the status will be available here. So once we creating this, you will while we starting our lab, you will be able to understand more. Okay. Okay. Shall
Yeah,
I
yes,
go
sir,
to the next
definitely.
command?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the next command is, let me say, Terraform apply. Okay. This Terraform apply will do in let's say we have Azure. Okay. So we have Azure. This is the Azure infrastructure that we have. So it will create here, let's say we have VM and DB, and in tfplan definitely we have mentioned VM and DB. Okay. So that virtual machine will be created here, and one database will be created here. Okay, according to this thing. And there is one another file. There is one another file. This is a state file. Okay. State file is the exact details of what we have in cloud. Okay. So as we said, while we run Terraform in it, it will fetch the provider details and what all things we need to do. Then we run Terraform plan. So in the backend, we got one file. It will have all the details of what all resources that we need to be deployed. And then we have another file called state file, which means it will be the acting as a state of the current infrastructure, which means what all files, what all resources that we have in our cloud infrastructure. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So these three files just understand, and this state file, for example, this is the exact details. If we need to, like, let's say this is the first round of things that we will do. For example, if we need to create a VMDB, we created some files in Terraform and we run Terraform in it. It will fetch the provider. Then we run the Terraform plan. So it will create a Terraform plan and it will show what all resources will be created. And once we did the Terraform apply, it will create a state file that mentioning, okay, this much VMDB is there, and accordingly that Azure, in that Azure, we will be like that resources will be created. So whatever the resources that we have created with the help of Terraform, it will be mentioned in the state file. Okay, got the idea? This is the workflow that we have.
Yes, sir, got it.
Okay. And
Yes, sir.
and let's say on the second time, okay, second time we think that okay, we need what one app service. Okay, we need one app service need to be installed. So what I did, I just updated this file. Okay, I added one app service details also. Okay, at that time, what it will do, like once we save this file, this configuration files, then what we need to do, we will run the Terraform plan, right? So once we are running the Terraform plan, it will check. First of all, it will check. What it will check? It will compare whether what all resources that we have in Azure. Okay. So first of all, what it is having is it will compare with the state file. Okay. And see what all resources we already have and what is to be created. Here we have an app services needed to be created. Okay. Then what happens? According to the compare, like after the comparing, it identifies that okay, VM and DB is already there in the Azure. So we need only app services needed to be created. So what happens? It will create a Terraform plan. Okay, TF file, which mentions it needs to create one app service. Okay. So it will only fetch, it needs to create an app service. This is happening in the backend. Okay. And once we run the apply, this app service will be created over here. Okay. Correspondingly, what happens? Same time, that details will be stored in the state file as well. So now the state file is updated and it is having the details of app services as well. Do you get that?
Yeah, yes, sir. That means like we are basically having like 3 files of the same plan for the same app service plan.
Yeah, and one more thing is there. So here, if we need to apply a specific plan, for example, test.tf plan, then we need to mention that file here. So it will deploy that plan file, test plan file. Okay. If we are not mentioning that, then it will run the default one. Okay. I said, like we can create a different Terraform plan according to our namings requirement, so that we can mention this along with the command. So it will create. Got it?
Okay.
What are you thinking? Any questions on this? Because this is an important workflow.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as like we go on the lab, then I think that would be like more elaborative in that.
Oh, okay. So then, yeah, this is the plan, and then let me try to go to the portal. Okay, so I'm running on Visual Studio Code. Okay, Visual Studio Code in my local system. And I am going to take one terminal. Let me see if Terraform is installed in my system. Okay, in my system, actually, Terraform is installed. So I'll do one thing. I'll tell you how to install a Terraform. Okay, I'll connect to this VM and I'll show you how to install that.
Okay. And we are gonna install the Terraform in the same virtual machine, right?
Yeah, and that's a virtual machine. Here I have,
Yeah.
like, this is my local system. I have this Terraform available. That's why I'm showing you in that VM. Otherwise, like, I could have installed the Terraform over here.
Okay, okay. So are we going to install again, or you already have it in
Yeah,
the...
I'll show that how you can install that. So I can show you that.
It's the same thing like we did in the last session, right?
Um,
Installation of Terraform.
yeah, installing Terraform we did not cover it in the last session, right? So we will be covering
Yeah.
that. SSH. Okay, let me check. Terraform. Okay, Terraform is not installed. Okay, so we'll install Terraform. I'm just going to the documentation of Terraform, and when you are searching for install Terraform, it will give this page. So there are different versions like Ubuntu, CentOS, Fedora, Amazon Linux. In a lot of ways you can deploy. Sorry, you can install. And here we have a set of what they have a set of this thing commands. So let's run it one by one. Okay, first command is sudo apt-get and sudo apt-get install -y. Okay, these two packages that are installing. Okay, GNU PG and software properties common. Okay, let me run it. I can also put it in a shell file like sh file, but why I'm not doing it is like just to understand what all things that we need to do here. Then next is we need to install the key. So for that we need this. Let me run it. Let me copy into a notepad first. I'm putting it in a single line. Okay. Let me run this. Okay, that is also done. Let me take the other command. Before that, let me take it in. I'm putting it in a single line. That's why I'm using this. Okay. Let me run it. Okay, it's also available. Then what's the next command that I need to run? Okay, it is as expected. Then add the official repository to the system. Let me run this before that. Vocal. So it can. Okay, I'm just running the next command. Oh, okay, I'll take it here first and then I'll go. So what I have here, okay. Okay, let me copy this and run this command then. That's also fine. The next command is sudo apt update. Let me run that then. We can see that we are getting some files from HashiCorp. So that means some kind of packages and all is coming in. Let me fetch the other command. Okay, sudo apt get install Terraform. So it is unpacking, setting up Terraform. Okay. So it is installed. Let's see whether it's installed. Okay. To verify the installation, this is the one step that we can do. Terraform minus help or Terraform version is also fine. Okay, we are getting different commands. Terraform init. See, these are the main commands. We said no, Terraform init, plan, apply. Also, there are two more commands. One is validate and other is destroy. Destroy is to destroy the previously created details, okay, infrastructure. And validate is to check whether the values or the configuration is valid or not, which means if there is any error or any issues with our configurations files, then it will give us that whenever we are running Terraform validate. But the main important commands is init, plan, and apply. Okay. Once we are applying, like we need to destroy, then we can use Terraform destroy command. Okay. Is that fine?
Okay. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, so here that Terraform is installed. Okay. So this is just I showed because just wanted to share you how we can install that. So instead of using like creating step by step, we can copy all these commands in a file and we can save it as a bash file, which means like .sh, and we can run it like that we tried in Docker and all, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Remember,
also
same.
possible. That's also okay.
Okay.
That's also possible. So I just followed the documentation, so it's easy to install. And let me go to this. Okay, that's how we installed that. And let me check, verify the installation in a beta. Okay, install it to complete. Okay, fine. Now, Let me go to Visual Studio Code once again. Okay, so the Terraform is installed. Then let me open one folder. Okay, first of all, let me create one folder. One second. Okay, I'm
Is this a
creating.
Terraform, sir?
No, I'm creating one folder now. One folder here. Okay, I created one folder.
In your local machine, right?
Yeah, in my local machine. Terraform layer. File, open folder. It is there in E Terraform layer. Okay, now I am in that folder. Okay, Terraform layer. Terminal, no terminal. Terraform version. Okay, so it is installed. Okay. Now, in this directory, what we are going to do is we are going to create one file. Okay.
But sir, like as we installed Terraform into the virtual machine, like why did we created this folder into a local machine?
Yeah, but I use this virtual machine to show you how we are installing Terraform.
Okay.
Okay. Now I'm like it is already installed in my machine. That's why I just tried it in a virtual machine and showed you. Otherwise,
Okay.
I could have run it over here.
Okay.
But it is already installed now.
Yeah.
Okay. So what we are going to do is like I'm going to create one file, one Terraform configuration file. Okay, I'm creating. So I'll name it as main.tf. As you know, tf is the extension that we need to keep. So I have one main.tf file. So the first thing that we need to understand is we need to add the provider. Okay. So for us, we have one provider. So we need to mention the provider name. What is the provider name? It is Azure RM. Azure RM is a resource manager. Okay. Azure Resource Manager. That's the full form of Azure RM.
Okay.
Okay. And here, one thing that we need to mention, features. Okay. This is the provider block that we have. Okay. This is the provider block, which means we will mention what kind of provider it is. And here we will mention what kind of provider that we are using. Currently, we are using Azure RM, so we can mention Azure RM. Azure here. Azure RM is Azure Resource Manager. Okay.
Okay.
And this is the required parameter that we need to include in Azure RM. Okay. Is that fine?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now what we have one provider in place. Next thing is we will create a resource group first. Okay. So for that, there is another block called resource block. Okay. Resource block is the block that we will be using for creating different kind of resources. And in resource group, there are two parts. Okay. First part is what kind of resource we are looking into. For example, the resource type we can see. So if you are thinking we are creating a resource group, there will be always a prefix like Azure RM. Okay. Azure RM underscore resource group. You can see one resource group here now.
Yes.
So resource group. Click on that. So Azure resource group. And here, this is the reference name or the logical name that we will keep in this configuration file, which means we can mention RG for now, resource group for now, no issues. Okay.
So that the name of the resource group is RG, right?
It is not the name of the resource group. It is not the name of the resource group. It is a logical name only to understand this value inside Terraform. We are not using this RG outside Terraform. It is for only for internal purpose.
Okay.
Okay. And let's see, to create a resource group, what all things we need. For example, if I go here and if I create a resource, let me resource group. Okay. See, what all things we need? We need a resource group as well as a region, right? Mainly, right?
Yes.
Resource group and region.
Yes.
So we will mention those details there. First of all, we need to mention name of the resource group. Okay.
So basically, are we creating the resource group here?
Yeah, we are creating a resource group using
Okay. Okay.
Terraform.
Okay.
Okay, name RG test Terraform. Okay, this is the name of the resource. And one another thing, that is region, which means location, right? So this we need to put, let me put UAE North. Okay.
Okay.
So resource is the block that we will be using for creating resource. Even if we need a virtual machine or app service or whatever, we need to use, we have to define with the help of resource group. Okay. Okay. This block we need to use. And this is the provider, like this is the resource type that we need to mention. And this is the logical name that we need to mention. In name, we need to mention the exact name of the resource group that we need to create and the location. That's it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
So now we have one file with us. The next thing is we need to do what? We need to authenticate with our Azure portal, right? Then only you will be able to create resources, right?
Yes.
Yeah, for that, with the help of, sorry, with the help of Azure CLI, I can do AZ login. Use device. I think use device code or something. Yeah, use device code. So let me copy the URL and put it in the same browser that I have already logged in. Meanwhile, I'll copy this value. So I need to enter the code. Click on next. Click on this. Continue. Okay. So it will be reflected here. Okay, I logged in and let me set my subscription. My subscription is my subscription is this one. Okay. There are a lot of subscriptions are available. So for that, there is one command, az account set minus subscription. Okay, so it is set. Then let me run the account show to show what is the current subscription. Okay, it is the current subscription, right? Okay, that's also fine. Then currently I'm in my current subscription. If you are logging in, you will not get these issues because I do have a lot of subscription in my account. But for you, like there will be one, so you don't need to bother about that. Okay. But if you are into a account like you are getting multiple subscriptions, then you can select the subscription with the commands that I have it. Okay. We can use AZ account set subscription and just subscription name. So it will set that. And you can verify with the help of AZ account show. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, now see, I am in that location. Okay, e.terraform. That is the directory that I have, right? Then what we did, we need to run what? We need to run Terraform init first, right? Do you remember this is the command that we have mentioned here?
Yeah, yes, sir. For
initializing, let me run this. So what happens? Initializing the backend. So initializing provider plugins, finding the latest version of HashiCorp Azure RM, installing HashiCorp. Okay, this is the version it is installing. Okay, version 3.110. something. Okay, and it is also installing HashiCorp. Okay, got it?
Okay.
So basically what it did was, while we are running in it, it is initializing the backend and it finds the plugins for Azure RM. We can also mention one thing. Here we can mention version. Okay, but this is optional. Let's say if we are mentioning 2.46.0, okay, then it will fetch the corresponding version here. Do you get that?
Okay. For the specific version, right?
Yeah, if we need a specific version, then it is also possible.
Okay.
Let's say, I think this is difficult. Okay, let me try to 2. Okay, 1 second. Okay, here version 3.0 is provided. See, here you can see, right? Azure. Let me check whether, okay. Okay, let me try a random one. 2.46.0, okay. Let me run the Terraform init once again. So it is showing what it is showing. Okay, 2.460 is not a valid one because it is already expired. So it is deprecated. So we can mention something like that. Okay. We can mention the version as well if needed. For now, we are not mentioning that. We are just mentioning Terraform in it, and it is fetching the latest one.
Latest one, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So that is fine. So which means our directory is initialized with Terraform and required plugins are installed. So when we are doing in it, it will create, okay, one Terraform directory, and there will be one file. See, Terraform provider Azure RM. Okay. This provider file will be fetched from the Terraform and it will be available in our local repository. Got it? This is what it is doing when we are doing it, Terraform in it. Got it?
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then the next command is Terraform plan, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me run Terraform plan.
So we are not creating any service for right now. We are just creating 3 files. That's it.
Yeah, resource group only. Yeah, we will begin to further details later.
Okay.
See, what we are getting, Terraform used to select providers. Okay, it is, if it is this green signal create, it will be creating. Terraform will perform the following actions. What it is happening? Azure Resources, okay. RG will be created, which means resource group. What is the location? UI North. What is the name? This is the name. Let me search for that resource group here to make sure that that resources group is not there. Okay. RG Terraform. Okay. That resource group is not there in my subscription. Okay.
Okay.
So it is showing that, okay, this resource group with this name and this location will be created. That is what we are getting. Okay.
Okay.
So you can see the plot in plan, 1 to add, 0 to change, and 0 to destroy. So it will give something like that. It can give an insight.
Okay.
And here you can see note, you didn't use the minus out option to save this plan. So that plan file will not be saved. Okay. So if we need to save that, then what we need to do? Terraform plan minus out. Then we need to mention the Terraform plan's name. For example, test.tfplan. See, one file will be created. Okay, it will validate. Let's see. See, one file created, right? Test.tfplan.
Yes.
Here we said no. If we mention some name, we can create that file. Otherwise, it will be taken care in the backend. We said no.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, now it is there. So I'm not using the test plan for now, but I'm just using Terraform plan itself. Okay. Once, yeah. So I can understand that one resources group will be created. The next command will be Terraform apply. Okay.
For the third one, right?
Yeah, the third one, Terraform init, Terraform plan, and then Terraform apply. Let me run this. See, it is asking for a consent. Do you want to perform this action? We need to write yes. So what it will do? It will see, it is creating, right?
Yes.
Creation completed. So, okay, apply completed. Let's see whether it is available here. Let me refresh it. See, it is available, right?
Yes. For just creating one resource group, like there is a lot of stuff in the IAS, like easy to operate on portals, rather than just going through all
So,
this.
Do you remember whenever we are doing our IAC part first, it was first step was very difficult, like we need to arrange all these things. Later we identify that like whenever we are like we need to use that advantages of IAC, right? We can
Yes.
deploy resources, we can lot of things that we can manage. So
Yes.
that's why Terraform is important, and we can mention different resources as well here.
Yes.
Okay. And also there is one see it shows resources, one resource is added and it is created there, right?
Yes, sir.
And there is one other,
So,
yeah, okay. Ask me.
so for creating any services or any resource, like, do we have to go through
Yeah,
this all three
yeah, for
steps?
that purpose, what we need to do is we need to go to the Terraform documentation. One second. Let me search for Terraform virtual machine Azure. It will give me a link. Or let's say Terraform. I'm creating a public IP, okay. Public IP Azure. Okay. This is the code that we need to create. Here, Azure RM resource group is there that we already have. We don't need to use that, right?
Yes.
We need to use this part. Resource Azure RM public IP example. This example we can mention like change it on our own requirement, and name we can mention, and here we need a resource group name. For that purpose, we are using that. So that part we will like cover in the next session. Okay.
Okay.
So the last is Terraform destroy. If I run Terraform destroy, what happens, right?
The resource will be deleted, I guess.
The created resources will be destroyed, which means removed.
Okay.
So it will refresh straight. See, it will ask for a consent. It is showing it will be destroyed. So we need to put that yes. If we need to destroy, yes. So it is destroying. Destroy completed. Okay, that is gone, right?
Yes.
That's
So it
how
deleted
we
that.
will. Sorry.
Now, basically, destroy means like to remove or I mean delete the resource,
Yeah,
direct
yeah,
resource.
whatever we have created, we can destroy it with the help of Terraform destroy command. Okay.
Yes. So, sir, as you said earlier, like by portal, as there is a like a lot of like time. It's basically time consuming on portal, right? Comparatively to the IAS, like this one.
Yeah, whenever we
So,
are using IAC, yeah, tell me.
yeah. So, in this like Terraform, like as it's an IAC, can we create like multiple resources in it? At the same time, like we just created one resource group for right now, right? So instead
Hmm.
of just one, can we create like two or three at the same time?
1 second. Okay, I added one more resource block, right? Okay. So now I have two resource groups, okay?
Okay, you just put the same code. Oh, okay, okay, I got it. Okay, yeah, yeah. So we can create multiple then.
Yeah. Terraform plan. Okay. So it will show that 2 resource groups will be created. Okay.
Yes. So Terraform initial and then plan and then apply.
Yes. C0102.
Yes.
Terraform 0, right?
Yes.
It is created.
Yes.
So
Both
2
are
resources
created.
created. Like this, we can create multiple resources. No issues.
Okay.
Let me destroy that. It will be destroyed. Okay.
That's right.
Hmm.
Yes, sir.
This was the main agenda for this today, and I hope you got all the points. I'll be sharing the recordings to you so that you can check it out and just have a lab on that, like hands-on, so that you will be able to understand it further.
Yes, sir. Definitely.
Mm.
So far, sir, we have created the resource groups, right? So later
Mm.
on, like, would we be creating like the virtual machines, then
Yeah,
the
we will
the load
create
balancing?
we will create couple of resources on the next session. Okay.
Okay, okay,
Okay. So all good. Let's wind up for today. Hmm?
okay, sir.
Okay. Okay. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for joining.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.